Welcome to Knifewear Live on YouTube.
Haven't seen you guys for a little while. I mean, like I'm not seeing you, but
Yeah.
It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
When's the last time we've done the?
The last time
live?
you did a live was garage sale.
Right.
I think.
Right. So it was the.
Yeah.
It was May. May.
Yeah.
It's already.
Well, it's all a blur.
Yeah.
I did one in April. That's the last one I remember.
So it's the today is August
4th.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Crazy.
So August
Flying
4th.
by.
Welcome to the Knifewear, I guess, live stream.
Mm-hmm.
This month, well, today we are going to feature, we call this Small Makers Month. The Small Makers Month is basically, we try to shed the lights on those blacksmiths who only could produce so much in a year that we only get, like once a year, maybe.
Yeah. Small in production, not small in size.
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes twice a year if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But so we can kind of talk about them because oftentimes during the garage sale, what can happen is that there are so many different knives that we have to talk about.
It's impossible to give everyone the respect they deserve.
Exactly, right? So we kind of dedicate the August as a small maker month so that we can talk a little bit more about them.
Yeah, highlight them, give them, like I said, the respect they deserve.
Exactly.
Tell their stories, show off their work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, because like those we have some blacksmiths are relatively, I guess, new, or I guess some blacksmith we haven't been able to visit them yet, but a lot of them we already visited them, and
Yeah, because we're going to talk about 5 or so different folks,
Yeah.
5 or 6 folks today, and you
Yeah.
visited a few on your last trip to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So we've even got some footage from some of them.
Yeah,
But is there anybody here that you haven't met today?
The Sakai-san, I haven't met. So as the Suzuki-san. Although we do have very short footage from the Yukihiro Sakai-san from Kumamoto, when our supplier went to visit them. They took really nice, I guess, the footage of how he makes knives. So
well, that's kind of true to the spirit of Small Makers Month, because it started in 2020 when we literally couldn't visit any of these people. But we made you made a lot of new friends over the internet in that time, and met a lot of new makers. We finally got to go see them in 2021, I think.
Right. Especially the Munetoshi that we're going to talk about. And the 2022, that's the first blacksmith, or the young guys that we're going to talk about, the Isamitsu 2022 in November. I get to actually visit those 2 young guys.
Yeah.
Now 3. It's not all the blacksmiths, but 3 people working.
Yeah. Right on. Well, so that's kind of what Small Makers Month is. There are knives if you're in Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, Vancouver, Toronto. It's a lot, a mouthful now, listing all the stores. But if you're in one of the stores that we have a city, these knives will be showing up. If not by this weekend, then next weekend. But they're all available online now. They've launched. It's official. And so you can check them out there. We've got some of the stories on our blog, but you'll kind of see stuff coming out as a slow drip all month. We've got 4 or 5 blogs on telling the stories of each of these makers. We've got a video coming out, not next week, we've got one the week after about Hinora Jr., Hinora-san.
Okay,
so we're going to talk about them lots today. So,
yeah.
So before we get into it, I guess we got a lot of knives to show you today, probably almost 2 dozen knives to show off. We have some exciting news. We have some announcements. First of all, I guess, is coming up first is Chris Lord in Ottawa, Knife for Ottawa, is going on a ride called Operation Ride Home. He does a lot of work with the charity called Operation Come Home, and they help keep homeless youth in Ottawa from becoming homeless adults. A lot of different ways. So he's doing that ride to raise money. There's a link in the description of this video you're watching right now. You can go donate, and that will help support these youth, help them find employment, help them pay their bills while they're getting off the street. It's just an amazing cause, and Lordy's going to be riding his brand new motorcycle tomorrow. August 5th. Kelowna, we're gonna be visiting you next weekend. August 10th to the 11th at the Codfather's Fish Market or Seafood Market at 2355 Gordon Drive. So we'll be there for 3 days. The first 2 days we'll be accepting knives for sharpening. You know, we had a store in Kelowna for a while, and so there's a lot of folks there that have knives that are probably overdue because it's been a while since we moved that store. So we'll be there all 3 days, 11 to 5, but the 10th and the 11th are your days to drop off knives. If we get a ton of sharpening and we can't get it done while we're there, we'll take it home to Vancouver and mail it back to you. Knifewear Toronto, as we mentioned already, is open.
It's open.
It's doing things. You can buy knives there, live and in person.
Yeah.
You also don't have to buy knives. You can just go check out all the other cool stuff, meet the awesome staff, get your knives sharpened. If you have some knives that are like lying at the bottom of a drawer that you don't use anymore, you can bring them in for some of the new staff to practice on. I'm sure they'd appreciate that.
Yeah, we're right on the bloor.
Yep, 517.
In the annex area. Yeah, so it's a pretty nice area to walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle of the kitchen knife district.
Yeah, and it's pretty close to the Koreatown and those places.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. You
yeah.
can make a whole day of visiting all the cool stuff down
Absolutely.
there. And then Musashi Yamamoto-san is visiting.
Yes, he's visiting us in Calgary and Toronto, the late September to early October.
Sweet.
The
Yeah, like that weekend that's like on the cusp.
yeah.
Right in there.
There's a long weekend, right? For
Yeah.
the day for the truth and the reconciliation.
Yeah,
the
so he'll be
30th.
there probably on the 29th in Calgary-ish.
Yeah,
like
and
last
he'll
couple
be
days of
he'll be
September.
Toronto store hoping. I'm hoping to have him in Toronto store the next day of the
first.
day of the truth and I think 31st. 30th the
Right, okay, so the day after
holiday.
that.
Yeah, the day
cool.
after that. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so he'll be there doing things.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are
kissing hands, shaking
we're-
babies.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
trying to set up some of the event type of stuff more.
Cool.
So he's really good at engraving knives and stuff like that. So
Yeah, he's
And-
also got a lot of like smart thoughts in his brain, and so he can maybe
Yeah.
give a talk or something. And
it is his 10th year anniversary tour. I guess it is a tour.
oh yeah, right.
So the
yeah.
it's been I think 10th year since
Yeah.
he started his own workshop. He started his workshop in 2013. So
Wow.
yeah.
Oh my
it's been
God,
10
that was
years.
10 years ago.
And
We should get
this-
Mason to design like some tour shirts, like when Iron Maiden goes on tour.
I think we should
Yeah.
because this is his
with 2 dates.
basically a world tour.
Yeah, right.
Basically a world tour. It
Yeah.
kicks off here in Canada.
Yeah.
And the first stop is Calgary.
We should have a bunch of cities. I saw this recently as this like
I should,
it was
yeah,
it was
we
this
should.
band that was doing a tour and they were
Yeah.
going to 3 cities. So they had like 20 cities like
Right.
Oslo, Norway, and
Yeah.
Berlin, Germany, and like Johannesburg, South Africa, and they were all crossed off except for the 3 American
Right,
cities
right,
they were
right,
going
right.
to. So we should
Yeah,
should do
we
that.
should make that for him.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, other than that, so if you are on our mailing list or our Instagram, you'll hear that we have a visit planned from Takayuki Shibata-san next week, Wednesday and Friday in Calgary and Vancouver. There's been some unforeseen circumstances, and so we're unsure if he's still going to make it next week. That trip may be postponed, so stay tuned. If you were looking forward to that, if you're in Calgary or Vancouver, just make sure you're subscribed to our mailing list from knifewear.com or follow us on Instagram, and we'll make an announcement there as soon as we have like solid info.
Absolutely.
Okay, enough of that. Oh yeah,
Alrighty.
sorry, what's up?
So, from the chat, we've got a couple of friends that we've seen, new faces too. We've got Grant
Sweet.
Hendricks here.
Hey,
Mike
Grant.
Page,
Yeah.
Spoon Monkey's hanging out.
Nice.
And Spoon Monkey was asking, before the show kicks off, when is the next Naoto Nerdy Power Hour?
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably next month.
Next month?
Yeah, like I'd say in the next month.
Yeah.
I was away for a few months, and so Knifewear does this awesome thing called long service leave. So once you hit 10 years, you get 3 months off.
Some of you may have noticed, may have not noticed, because he's on the Instagram all the time, right?
I was just wearing the same shirt in every video.
Exactly.
But yeah, so now everybody that was doing an amazing job of my job while I was away, we all now have a bit more free time. So we'll get back to live streaming more often. I would say in the next month. If we have time, maybe this in October, but definitely in September if not. I guess, was that Spoon Monkey's question?
Yeah.
Great. Well, Spoon Monkey helped me kick off the other thing I wanted to talk about, which is that we are going to be doing more live streams again. We're going to get back to doing 1 to 2 a month. So let us know in chat what you want to see. and Sky will either shout those ideas out or just like make a mental note of them. Or, you know, if you can't think of anything now, but an idea comes to you later, just email tv@knifewear.com. And yeah, we want to make stuff that you folks want to watch. And so we know that people enjoy Naoto's sharpening technique videos and my knife skills videos. We're going to keep doing more of those. But if there's other stuff, I'm thinking maybe something around like preserving and pickling, because it's coming up to that time of year, but we're down for whatever.
Cooking, you know, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin wants to do a cleaver one.
Yeah, Chinese cleaver.
Cook with a wok, and we can talk about cleavers.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's
We can
super
set off the smoke alarm.
fun. Can't wait to this off right now.
Well, maybe we'll do it in the back alley.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's what we have on the horizon. Same with videos. Like if there's a video you want to see us make, more of the regular weekly videos that we do, let us know if you have an idea, and we'll add it to our list.
Yeah, I think like we have a lot of you know, videos planned already, right?
Yeah, I got a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like editing and narrowing down those ideas. But yeah.
Cool. Well, to
Cool.
kick you off, we got a great question. Merlin Crow asks, "What is the definition of a small maker?"
Usually like 5 feet or shorter, I think. Smaller than Naoto. Yeah. Somebody that we get, like Naoto said earlier, like twice a year or less probably. And the basically what that means is they only make so many knives that we can only really get them that often.
Generally, like, you know, 1 or 2 people show in the workshop.
Totally.
You know, it's most of these knives that we have, most of them are just a one-man show.
Yeah.
One-person show. The Isamitsu has 2 main guys doing it as well, but mostly it's one person. And the production, unlike say Sakai guys, they do pretty much everything from A to Z, right, or A to Z, so that they have to do forging, heat treatment. They do have to do you know, shaping and sharpening, so that the production does not get any bigger or the faster.
Right. Yeah, they're pretty much maxed out. They're not going to get that much faster at any point in their career. So,
like say for example, when you look at say for example we did for like a couple of years when we started doing the Small Makers Month, we did talk about Tanaka-san. It is still considered to be small, but his daily production is limited to 30. Knives a day.
30 knives, period.
Some of the guys are a lot smaller in numbers.
Yeah.
As well, right? Like some makes like only 5 a day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and
in
that's
average.
that 30 a day might sound like a lot, but like he's doing every step of that process, right?
Yeah. Well, Tanaka-san just forges, right?
Right.
So,
He just forges.
Yeah,
Whereas
so-
some of these guys are like,
doing everything.
yeah. So they're only doing 5 knives a day because they're doing every step themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or you know. So how about, as we go through each of these makers, I'll make sure I keep that question in mind, because I'm going to kind of interview Naoto today. If you have questions you want me to ask him or Sky to ask him, just pop them in chat there and keep them coming. But I'll make sure to ask you, you know, with each one, what makes them a small maker. Starting with Isamitsu hamono, because they are a bit different from some small makers. There's more than one of them. So what makes these guys a small maker in our
these
minds?
are really relatively young. 2-man show. Well, they just added the main blacksmith's wife into the team, so that they were doing 3 people kind of stuff. But mainly all the forging and heavy lifting and all the grinding and stuff is still done by those 2 young guys, the Yuki Abe-san and the Gaku Kanatsu-san. Both have been trained under the very famous blacksmith in the Kanto region, and they've learned a lot, and they start doing their own things. The part of the reason is that they wanted to kind of put their thought into making knives. Working for someone else is slightly different than
It's like some people just want to show up and do a job, and some people want to like be creative and come up with their own designs and stuff, and so that's what they wanted to do, right?
So exactly. So what happens is that they make the bevel a little bit different, finished differently than they've been used to do, and stuff like that. It's pretty nice and thin, balanced very nicely.
Yeah, after they went their own way, it sounds like they like I use the term cross-pollinated with a bunch of other makers to go, okay, this is what we know really well. What are other people doing? Like, how can we incorporate
I
that?
think they are trying to do. Like, I went to visit this younger blacksmith back in November last year, and so what they told us is that they only know the way that they've been taught.
Yeah.
Right.
Of
So
course.
since they've been, they're still pretty young and pretty passionate about the, knife making and everything, as they are. That's one of the reasons why they started doing their own stuff. They are, I don't know if they have yet, but they are going to visit the different workshops in different regions to learn the way that the other people are doing. So like as you said, it's like real cross-pollination will happen. Not sure. This is one of the first batches that we've got. So
Yeah, these guys are super new, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
when did they start their workshop? A year ago?
2022. Yeah.
2022,
So like,
yeah.
It's about a year. They just had a year birthday, I think.
And that's part of what makes them small makers. They're still figuring it out. Their production's going to be super limited because they're really taking their time to get it right. Yeah, this guy's got a really nice, smooth-ish Kurochi finish. You see some of that kind of reddish. Some Kurochis have more of a reddish hue that some people almost think looks like rust, and so it's definitely got a little more of that coloration to it, which I think is really cool.
We've got a request for a 12 shot.
Trial shot. Oh yeah, how can I forget the trial shot? It's like I've been on vacation or something. Okay, hopefully that works. Let me know if I can do better. Very difficult to do with it.
My hand is background.
Yeah, I think it's focusing on you. Just put your hand in front of your face now, Tom. Yeah, there we go.
Hopefully that.
I'm sorry. There are trail shots on the Knifewear website, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They will be way better than the one I'm trying to give you right now. What's okay? So let's get.
So this one here, white #1 carbon steel with the carbon steel cladding.
Okay.
A little bit more simpler construction than the
Very
other ones, but yeah.
like traditional, you might say. Very reactive. Like it's gonna rust real quick, but is really nice to cut
and
with.
it keeps the edge really nice and long as well. It's
Yeah.
the white carbon #1 steel.
Yeah, it's if we're getting into nerd stuff, like it's pretty thin at the edge, but not like absurdly so. It doesn't look like it's gonna like fold over if I look at it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's overall I'd say relatively lightweight, which I really like. I don't like a knife that like sometimes, but if I'm just picking up a knife to like do some chopping, I want something that feels kind of nimble and glidey.
Yeah.
And so that's how I would describe that.
One of the things that makes it really, I guess, small maker is that I was hoping to have 4 different shapes from them.
Totally.
When this kicks off.
Yeah.
But we only got the Santoku and Nakiri.
Right.
So
Yeah. So we got this bad boy as well.
yeah. So they're not limited to the production of these 2 different shapes. They are making the Gyuto as well as the Santoku, the Peri as well, but
The Nakiri, Nakiris always feel a bit heavier because there's a bit more steel up front, for getting through veggies and stuff. But this guy's a little thicker. Like, do you see much variation between?
no, not much.
Okay. So maybe that's by design. Then this guy's just a little on the heftier side
Yeah,
compared to that
yeah.
one. Cool. Yeah. No, that's if you like a Nakiri that feels real choppy, I would say there's a real choppy Nakiri.
Real nice handle too.
Pretty flat edge. Like some of the Nakiris have a bit of a rock to them. This guy's pretty straight away.
Maple handle, I believe, with the water buffalo horn.
Like a spalted maple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like. Which is like, in plain English, that just means it's really beautiful. It's got that like patterning through it.
Thanks for remembering all the stuff after 3 months.
Right? I'm shocked.
We've got questions.
It's only going to go downhill from here because some of these people I know almost nothing about.
So DJ Sergioto was asking, so Isamitsu blades are carbon clad and not stainless clad like the blades from their previous mentor?
Mm-hmm.
Is that about right?
Not this one. Not this
Not
one.
this one? This is
Not this
stainless
one.
clad?
Not these ones were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they do a combination, like a mix of stainless clad and high carbon clad?
You may see them from elsewhere. The ones that we get is the just straight carbon.
Yeah, cool. I like carbon. I mean, it really depends on where you're at, and I think your knife career, your knife life. I usually recommend people start out with stainless or carbon steel clad and stainless, but For me, I'm starting to really enjoy the full carbon. That said, if it's your first knife, probably not a great choice. If you have a kid running wild in your house right now, it requires a lot of attention, as I do. You'll probably find you reach for your full carbon knives less often, and so it might be better to go for something more stainless. But I've been really enjoying the full carbon steel when I have the time and attention for it.
Spoon Monkey is asking, did the special blacksmith they left, wink wink, get 2 new apprentices, or is he now on his own?
They got a new, I think, people there, I believe.
Yeah. There's blacksmithing's getting real hot in Japan. Like we've seen such a shift over the past 15 years from it being like, people use the term dying art a lot. I don't know if it was a dying art, but like it was mostly old guys tinkering away in the workshops, carrying on their traditions. And for many of them, they didn't know what the future held. And now it's like all these young people are like, I want to be a blacksmith. This seems like a super cool career. And
absolutely, right?
so people are chomping at the bit.
Yeah, because we were, when the Shibata-san was not quite sure yet, but we were planning on shooting little, clip with the Shibata-san and
right, yeah,
and we were actually rewatching the documentary film that we made back in 2013. It was like almost 10 years.
2013, yeah.
Yeah, it's like. Oh yeah, it's almost 10 years ago, because that was one of the first years when we actually went to visit Musashi-san. That was when the first. So we were watching the clips from the first Spring Hammer, and rewatching what Shibata-san was saying about the, like the future of knife making or current situation at that time of the kitchen knife making or in Japan, and
it wasn't bleak, but it was still uncertain.
Exactly,
yeah,
right? Like,
they really didn't know.
So yeah, since then it's just burgeoned quite a bit. So
yeah, it's gotten a lot easier for masters to find like really eager people to learn their craft, which is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. If anybody else has any other questions about Isamitsu, like what do you have any idea of what kind of like the future holds for them? Like, I would say these are pretty cool, exciting knives. And if I was looking for either something from an exciting up-and-coming maker, I love the idea of getting something from a blacksmith when they're relatively new, because they're going to change a lot, and you probably, the way their knives look early on, they're going to look a lot different later in their career. And so it's cool to get something early in that process. Because it's a snapshot of their career and their skill, and maybe you get another knife from them 10 years later, and you can kind of compare just how different they are.
Yeah. Even those guys always think always kind of try to find a way to improve their skills and the way making knives, right? So
they have a real chef mentality, right? Like no such thing as perfection, but we're gonna try for it anyways.
Yeah. You know what? That's what I really like about the lot of blacksmithing younger guys who we deal with. If you get a chance, we're going to talk about those tinker knives that we have, and the way in which Ikeda-san, had implemented of forging these blades as well as his regular lines. I don't know. You probably haven't seen the Kumo lines recently. His Kumos got. So, I wouldn't say it was really great, but he forged in slightly different way now.
Oh,
so it's
cool.
very interesting.
Nice.
Anyways,
He's shaking things up a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very interesting to see those people and be able to tell how they change the way they do.
Yeah.
It's really and over the years, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely bought knives for that reason before, and will continue to. Okay. Oh, good. Awesome.
Cool. So I'm going to leave this off because they said it's echoing a little bit. So Spoon Monkey was asking, I hear they do custom requests. Did you go this route? And did you have any say in the shape and grind of Isamitsu's knives?
So sorry, your mic's off?
Yeah, mine is.
Okay, yeah. They do custom work. Do we have much say, or how much were we working with them?
No,
that's something we do a lot.
We didn't for these batches.
Okay.
I went to visit them in November, and the way in which they were doing, and they kind of showed us me and the other, Shiba. I went to show us the grinds and everything, and it was pretty good. And I mean, we discussed about them going to do a little field trip or like almost school trip to visit the other workshops and stuff. So I'm just like leaving up to them. Like shapes and stuff. I mean, we could probably talk a little bit. I've seen their kind of weird or the unique shapes before, but we just decided to do with the very basic to start.
Yeah.
So that they can be more confident at the production level, because they have to make, they can't just make a living of.
They're running a business.
Yeah. This,
Yeah. No, I
shapes,
think that makes a lot of sense, and I mean it's we see this a lot with younger blacksmiths talking about. Like, get a really good foundation before you start getting fancy, right?
Exactly.
Like, make a really phenomenal santoku and figure out what makes the best santoku. And that'll inform how you make other shapes. But, and at this point, we just want to support them and help them kind of get the momentum going. And then, who knows, like, we do work with blacksmiths a lot to request specific parameters.
You got time for a Musashi question before we move on?
Always time for Musashi questions.
All right, DJ was asking, is he ever going to forge Hanyaki blades?
Again? He has.
Curveball.
He has before. We did have one Honyaki blade that he's forged like 5 years ago, maybe.
Wow.
It was a while ago. We had like Kiritsuke, Honyaki.
Oh my God.
Mirror polish, nice bevel, hamon forged, and it's like, yeah, we did have one. We did have one before. Maybe. Watch out, because this is his 10th year anniversary. Kind of tour that he's actually working on some, always something unique.
Yeah, and he wants to do something especially unique for his, like for this case.
Yeah, like one of the things that I know that is that he just forged the single bevel Tuten Gyuto.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. We haven't seen one of those for a long time.
No, well he makes the regular, Suba, Deba, and stuff like that, but
he makes regular gyutos and regular single bevel gyutos.
Yeah, he's never made the single bevel gyuto.
Cool.
But yeah, I saw that he made it. Also the super long tuna knife that's like forge welded, and he made it to 600 millimeter long.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's longer than that one, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
not 5. That's
or 500.
That's probably 5.
Yeah.
We did have his Maguro for 450 millimeters before, so it's like 1.5 times.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know that he made it. He's capable, and he has like a lot of unique ideas, especially for this 10th year anniversary.
Yeah.
So we may see something super cool like that. We may see different, like
Cool.
Can't really promise. Like I didn't hear anything about the Honyaki blade from him, so
yeah,
hopefully,
Nice.
Cool.
Oh, I'm always excited to see what he comes up with. Yeah. Okay, moving along. Not to rush or anything, but let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is Gi and
Munetoshi.
Munetoshi. This isn't next. Gihei's next.
Oh, Gihei's next. Okay. So Gihei.
I mean, the order I came up with is totally random, but I think we should talk about these folks because I don't know a lot about Gihei. Like, I know they forge really hard steels like ZDP, and I think HAP 40.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I know.
Gihei-san, he is, I believe, 4th gen blacksmith from the. See, like he's got longer arms.
Yeah, this is what I'm here for. Not just a pretty face. I'm also long arms.
Gihei-san's, I believe, is his 4th. And his father is the Takashi-san, Atsushi-san, Takashi-san. Either. The father is, I believe, a 3rd gen. Out of the Sanjo area, they saw the change in the knife making world in I guess current situation, and they had been seeking a materials that works for the home use as well as the like longevity of it. Like they basically were looking for steel, like ultimate steel for kitchen knives. Ones that it's harder to rust. Because yes, it was the problem for a very long time in Japan that the hand forged knives can rust very easily.
Yeah, especially in like a humid country.
Yeah, exactly, right. So they've been seeking those new materials, and they came up with the I guess knives with this one is HAP 40, HAP 40 from Hitachi, as well as the ZDP 189.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really hard steel to work with.
Yeah, so for the beginners at home, really hard steel, period.
Yeah.
We talk about Japanese steel being really hard, but this is like some of the hardest. Really that makes it really difficult, or other things make it really difficult to forge.
It doesn't stretch. Like I've seen the. This is from actually we met him like from the first trip of to Japan.
Yep.
And they showed us how to do the. I think it was ZDP 189, and they put it in a forge and take it out. Red hot steel.
Yep.
Put in a hammer, and it's like you hear the sound. It's not like. The sound was so high pitch.
Yeah.
It does like.
It's like when somebody drops like a metal pipe on the ground.
Like, and it doesn't stretch as fast.
Really?
It was like.
It's like when you if you're making bread and you're going to knead it, but there's not enough water in the dough, and you're just
exactly.
throwing your shoulder into it, nothing's happening.
Exactly. Yeah. So it takes quite some time to get the shape that they want. But because it's a hardness and it's like. Because of that, it's really like hard edge. It will keep the edge for such a long time, right?
Yeah, it's gonna stay sharp, like several times longer than like say VG10 or something. Is it gonna chip several times easier, or is it?
What I like about their knives, like always, is that it's very, I would say very. Sanjo style sharpening, where the exposure of the core steel is minimal.
Yeah,
right?
It's not very thin. Like it is thin.
It is thin
at the very edge, but like that bevel is compared to the Isamitsu we were looking for before. Like it's pretty thin. Kind of like it gets thin like up here on the bevel, like much higher up from the edge. Whereas this guy is like. It doesn't get thin until like you get to the very edge where the core steel is exposed.
And if you look the the only core like about 2 millimeters.
Yeah.
Core steel is exposed, and some guys do it a little bit more, right?
Yeah. Again, just for the non-knife nerds at home, I don't know if you can see on this guy, but when these knives are made, there's steel in the core, a couple softer pieces on the outside. The hard steel in the middle is what does the work. And when you taper that knife down, you can have more of that core steel sticking out, which is more fragile, but cuts more smoothly sometimes.
Cut more smoothly sometimes.
Yeah. Whereas if you don't expose as much of it, it's going to be a little more rugged and durable.
You could do like both, but as I said, because the steel on this one is really hard, the way that he does it makes it a little bit more rugged and stronger. Right. It won't chip as easy.
Yeah, it's always a balancing act, and different makers or different regions have their own balance that they prefer.
Though it does slide into food very nice and smooth too. So it's
Yeah, it's only as thick as it needs to be tough.
Like his father is his father was really known for the like kitchen knife making as well, and that's kind of passed it down to his son. Like right now, it's his son actually taking over most of the blacksmith.
And do you know, like, does his father start the business, or has it been going for a few generations?
It was probably like 4 generations.
Yeah.
So
100 years or more.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, So yeah, they've been doing pretty good, and we do have. So I think some ZDP are available online, as well as we have ZDP Kazahana. Kazahana means Zuika, and also Kazahana HAP 40. We have the series that's the blue carbon steel with the stainless clad as well.
So if and this is just like an honest question, what if they feel that like HAP 40 is like, do they feel like that's the ultimate steel, or are they just kind of experimenting at this point?
They've kind of come up with, their top line is Zuika, which is the ZDP, and the Kazahana. They kind of sit side by side together. I guess one of the things about the Kazahana or the HAP 40 line is that it is still a semi-stainless steel. It only has 3 to 3% of chromium in it.
Right.
So it still oxidizes a little bit more.
Yeah. It's like water resistant, not waterproof. Yeah.
So the some people don't like the little patina along the edge.
Yeah, totally.
Where,
So then why do they make knives from carbon steel, like stainless clad carbon steel? Because that's pretty different.
I think
you know?
they just want to kind of keep their tradition.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, going because
Yeah.
it is the still traditional carbon steel in the core, blue carbon, 2 stainless clad, and
Don't forget where they came from.
they do take a little bit more. I guess it is a little bit more easier to shape by the hammer. It's softer steel.
Yeah, totally.
Right? So they can produce a little bit more, and that kind of reflects on the price too, right? This half 40 Kazana is a 417, and that one's the 221, I believe.
That's cool. I mean, they make something for everybody, or a number of different types of folks, because these are very accessible. They're relatively low maintenance for somebody that's willing to put a little bit of work. Like they're no more maintenance than a cast iron pan. Is that gonna focus? I really like this wood on the handle. I don't recognize that wood. What, do you know what it is?
Ooh,
Wood. Never heard of that before.
wood.
Yeah, I'll do some Googling.
Yeah, it's got a really
I thought it's
weird
a Palo
grain.
Santo or something.
Oh,
It's all like kind of
Wait,
rosewood.
the one you burn?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff with Palo Santo. You can make perfume.
I think, I don't know. Like
Anybody got a lighter?
What line is this?
I'll find out real quick.
Kihei Aogami.
I like the really clean Magaki finish on, like, actually, especially on this one. It reminds me of like minimalist pottery. Like it's just, there's a texture, but it's very subtle and very like elegant, I would say.
Yeah, this is Palo Santo.
Palo Santo,
Palo
cool.
Santo.
I've never seen a kitchen knife with Palo Santo.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
know that.
it's a really, like
I
the
don't
wood
know.
grain is almost like brush strokes or something, like a oil painting.
Got a
Full of
couple
analogies
seconds for
today.
some questions?
Yeah.
All right. Our dear friend Doodle asks, how is Aaron Iron Steel doing? Did he go through the apprenticeship with Musashi?
He probably has.
Yeah, so he actually got in touch with us. We haven't heard from him for a while, so he just got in touch with us like a week ago or so, and he got a scholarship to go to a university, I think for volleyball. So he got like a sports scholarship. He's a really smart guy and also athletic and also makes amazing knives. And so he had to choose one or two of those things and not all three. So I think he'll get back to knife making at some point. You know, his whole family of steel workers, but for the time being, he's going to take the opportunities that are in front of him. I mean, he's got several opportunities, but he's going to take the sports and school one. So he's going to, a university of some kind with a scholarship, which is really cool. So that means he won't be going to Japan anytime for several years at least, and probably won't be making knives for several years. But we're very proud of him. I'm very happy to hear
He
that.
also
And
plays volleyball.
who's that?
Musashi.
What?
Really?
Oh my God, those guys.
All right.
We
Brad
should.
Gray-
Can we have a beach volleyball tournament when Musashi comes to Calgary?
Musashi v. Kenji.
Yeah. I think he told me that
We can
he
do it like an
plays-
anime. Like if
he still plays
if Kenzie
volleyball.
beats Musashi, then he goes to university, and if Musashi beats him, then he becomes his apprentice and learns to make knives.
Right.
Speaking of nothing that has to do with volleyball, Brad is asking, can a Kurochi finish that has faded with use over time be restored?
So, real Kurochi finish. So Kurochi, for those who don't know much about the Japanese knives, Kurochi finish like that is this like most Japanese blacksmiths, they leave those black from the forging or the knife making process when they heat up the steel and put that especially after the heat treatment.
Okay.
Heat up the steel up to like 800 degrees
Yeah.
Celsius and put it in water or whatever, it darkens it. And the traditional Kurochis, they've done it with just basically leave those black
Right.
on the
Yeah.
blade.
You just don't take it off. It's just one less step.
And it's just really the burnt steel, like oxidized layer steel, which means if you scrub it, if you just like regular use, it can slowly fade
Or quickly fade
brush
if
it
you
off,
scrub it really
something.
hard.
Yeah. So, in order to restore that particular same, I guess the exact same chemical.
Yeah, factory finish.
You can't because you have to
Sure.
heat it up.
Yeah, you'd have to
again.
re-quench it, and then
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would
yeah.
screw your knife up.
Yeah, so I wouldn't. But the some people do. It's called the bluing steel, right? The
Yeah, it's, it's
gun.
a technique from gun making.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The there is chemical to
Yeah.
make the.
Yeah, you do hot bluing, cold bluing. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could do aesthetically, if you like the aesthetic to bring it back, you can definitely do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty accessible in North America. Like
Yeah.
buying those like liquids are not
Yeah, if
that
you have like
difficult.
a garage or a space to do hobby stuff,
Yeah.
and you're into doing like hobby stuff, you can figure it out.
we
pretty easily.
don't do
No.
that particular service. I know how, but we never really get to.
It's just gonna look different than the original finish.
Yeah, and it's that the knife to, that touches food.
Yeah.
Like, constantly.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not going to affect the it's not going to transfer any of the chemicals to the food, but
Well, and bluing can wear off too. Like even just from like fingerprints.
Right,
like
right.
it can wear off pretty not easily, but like it's not hard to remove it. So that would only be so permanent as well. Yeah.
yeah. So it is a way, but it's not most practical.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, my Croce knives wear with time, and I'm careful with them, so they wear very slowly. But for me, it's kind of like the leather jacket analogy. Like,
Exactly right.
you get a brand new jacket or pair of boots, and you're like, oh, these look so good. I'm not gonna get a single thing on them, and then you spill a beer on your boots, or you scuff up your jacket on the tree, and you feel sad for a day or two, and then you're just like, all right, time to go jump down a hill and scuff up my jacket some more, or drag these boots behind my car and get them looking cooler.
Yeah, it's the idea of the impermanence, right? Nothing is permanent.
Yeah, that's the wabi-sabi
Yeah, exactly,
idea, right?
Exactly.
All right, let's do two more and then we can bang on the Munetoshi. Spoon Monkey was asking, if blacksmithing is becoming more popular in Japan, where is the demand coming from? Japan or everywhere else? Do the Japanese care for their blades traditionally more than Western users?
I think demand is exploded, especially outside of Japan, and as more pre-pandemic period, there are more and more people go to visit Japan. You see so many tourists right now in Japan as well. So that demand has come back, as well as the definitely Japanese domestic market has expanded as well. I think it's thanks to all the like social medias, and makes it a lot easier and accessible for those younger people to see those cool knives, those cool guys making knives, and knowing where to get them and everything.
Well, even just like recently, like it's been huge in the past 15 years, but like with our TikTok account of all things, I was like, in 2020, I was like, I guess we'll try making a TikTok account. Like I hate TikTok, blah blah blah. And then it's exploded. It's one like we have way more followers there than we do in Instagram and YouTube and anywhere else. And it's almost entirely young people who are like, I'm getting my first knife. I'm moving out and I'm setting up my kitchen, or I have a basic knife and I want to get something nicer. I didn't even know about Japanese knives. Can you tell me some things? And so most of the content over there is honestly very like basic. Here's what you need to know. But it's because there's so many people that still don't know.
I think it's especially like as you mentioned, those demand probably has been driven by those younger generations. Like I don't think like when I talk to like a little bit older generation Japanese people, even here or like back in my talk to my mom. She appreciates it, but never really into she still holds the idea that oh my gosh, sharp knives are so scary.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to change their mind.
Well, there's such a huge resurgence over the past 20 years of analog things and cast iron pans and well-made clothes and records and stuff with history, stuff with quality. The other thing that I was thinking of that my brain is blanking now. So when I was a teenager, like I'm in my 30s now. When I was a teenager, I was real into anime and video games. Those are probably my two favorite things. And so for me, my love of anime was my gateway drug into like all these other cool things that have to do with Japan. And so when I got a job at Knifewear, it was like, I really like things that are from Japan. I was one of those kids. And at the time, it was like Calgary had no ramen restaurants. So we were very starved for, you know, us weeaboos were very starved for any ounce of Japanese culture. So it was like, oh my God, a Japanese knife store, this is so cool. And then you get, you know, I was also into food, so there's a bit of crossover there. But similarly, I find on TikTok and even on our other channels, a lot of the people that are getting into us, it's like, oh, they have like a character from Hunter x Hunter as their avatar, or they have, you know, like they're clearly, or they like, you know, I did a Knife Skills video and there's somebody referencing like One Piece characters with all the different things I did, and just like so many people that are into, you know, Japanese pop culture, or, you know, what we consider Japanese things here, anime, manga, video games, who they're like, okay, well, this is cool, what else is from Japan? And they're now getting into that now. And anime now in the West is so much bigger than it was 10 or 20 years ago. It's huge. You have like NFL football players wearing like Naruto headbands for their interview, and you have like professional wrestlers who have like tattoos of anime characters in the like WWE. Like, it's super mainstream. And so I think that's also helping to mainstream the concept of Japanese knives. Plus, like, the celebrity internet chef Maddie Matheson. All of the others who I can't remember any of them right now. Like,
It's okay. He's the only one that matters.
yeah, true. Yeah, he's Canadian, so he's the only one that matters. We love you, Maddie. Yeah,
Cool.
that's my long-winded answer.
All right. One more, and then we can head into Munetoshi.
Perfect.
DJ was asking Naoto, what are your opinions on Toyama-san's blades from Sanjo? He knows he's getting old, so.
Yeah, he's getting really old. Shuji Toyama-san is this former head of blacksmith at the Tadafusa. And after his retirement, the retirement age in Japan is 60 or 65. After his retirement, he decided to start his own workshop. So he's learned all the skills.
Retirement.
Yeah, and he started his own thing, right?
It's like here when we retire, we like get into golf and drink too much and, you know, die after 5 years.
No,
it's like in Japan.
The idea of the Toyama-san, so
Yeah.
like his retirement was like, I'm not gonna be told what to do anymore.
Oh,
in
yeah,
retirement,
okay.
right?
No, I get that.
Right?
I get
so,
that.
So he started on his things.
it.
We did have one Toyama-san's, the whatchamacallit, the Yanagiba for the last garage sale. You know what though? Really, it's great knives. It's really well made, very traditional Sanjo style kitchen knives. Well crafted, not so overexposed, or it's really nice hamaguri. It's like really nice, thick-ish, not thick, but you know, a little bit really good hamaguri, clamshell grind and everything. To be quite honest though, there isn't much to stand out. It's great. It's a great knife. It's very traditional Sanjo style, but yeah, it's good. It's really hard to.
There's a whole category of knives that I would say are for people like the people that are watching this video right now, or us, right? Like, if you know, and it's super cool. If my dad walked in and I was gonna sell him a knife, and I showed him, you know, like maybe one of these cooler looking Kurochi finished knives that are, you know, have a fancy handle, that kind of thing, next to something like that, or even oh my God, what's the one maker we can never get their knives? They're super popular. And Shigefusa. Next to a Shigefusa, like he would pick the one that's like cooler looking, because he doesn't know what a Shigefusa is and how much work goes into it, or how cool or esteemed that person is. Whereas for us, we're like, oh my God, it's this person. Like, they're crazy. They have like their history. They're so good at making knives.
Because like, for example, like say when you look at some of the knives, like Mazaki knives, I will grab Mazaki maybe over Toyama-san, because I know the idea behind the way Mazaki-san sharpens, or Mazaki-san makes the bevel, right? The idea is that he puts, he only uses the coarse wheel for the first step, then every steps from there he just basically puts on this sharpening stones. And the reason why he does that is that it's really easy for the end users, like, you know, if I have his knives, it's so easy to sharpen them afterwards. There's no low spots and stuff. So because I know the idea behind how he makes knives, I'm very leaning towards the Mazaki knives over the Toyama-san because I really haven't seen him doing it. And the one that we have is the finished very, you know, similar to other blacksmiths in that particular region. So for that reason, his knives are like Toyama-san's knives are great. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know, don't get any wrong idea of his knives are bad or anything like that. But the there are knives that we know a little bit more deeper and also the thoughts went into behind the making knives. So
well, the reality is like we are very lucky to have like 5-6 retail stores and a ton of awesome customers all over the world. But at the end of the day, we still can only get, you know, we have to make choices. You know, we can still, especially with our physical stores, it's like they are maxed out as far as like they're not big stores, so they're maxed out as far as like floor space, and so we have to be, you know, kind of picky about what we choose. And we do have some stuff that's online only, but you know, we try to provide the same experience to in-store and online. And so at a certain point, we just have to say like, oh my God, he makes great stuff. I'd love to carry it, but like, so does this guy that is in the same region that makes the same style of knife that like, on paper, not super different.
And again, the Toyama-san is very aging, and it's the production seems like very small. So,
Yeah, he's doing what he wants.
yeah.
Like, he's
So
not
if you like the
answering to anybody.
story and what he does, you know, there's nothing to prevent, like nothing to stop you from buying his knives, like from elsewhere, because you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my opinion. Although, yeah.
Munetoshi.
Munetoshi, yes.
There we go. Okay. I know things about Munetoshi, but I don't remember any of them.
Yeah, Munetoshi-san, we went to visit him 2 trips ago with with the Mike.
Oh, yeah. When you guys went in 2021,
2021 or 2022, couldn't remember. But yeah,
Some point
it
in
was
this
like
decade.
right when we were told that we can actually go to Japan after all the restrictions.
Yeah,
We
like
were
tourists couldn't even go at
Yeah,
that
like,
point.
yeah, exactly. We had to go through those visa process for Mike to go through. It was like special, business trip, right?
Wow.
So, Munetoshi-san, his real name or well, Munetoshi is his blacksmith's name. His
Like
actual
Gene
name.
Simmons. Like that's not his real name.
No, right.
Yeah.
Actual name is the Tsurumaki-san. He is the
Sorry, not Gene Simmons. Alice Cooper.
Oh, yeah, Alice Cooper, yeah. He is, I can't remember how many generations, but he is primarily a blacksmith for making sickles in that region.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what the Niigata is really famous for?
This is who we got our sickles from, right?
Yeah.
I love my sickle from him. Been using it to clear up weeds that I can't like get with my weed whacker. Yeah.
You know what the Niigata is famous for?
Sickles?
No, rice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's rice. Yeah.
Oh.
Rice harvesting.
And a
They
sickle
use-
would be used for rice
Yeah,
harvesting.
exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Niigata, the whole prefecture, means a new. You know when it's like there's a like super like flat. There was a lake,
Yeah.
and you basically cut off the all water supply
Yeah.
and make that whole lake into this flat.
Yeah. It's called a flat in
yeah,
English. Yeah,
yeah.
like salt flats.
So the flats. So it's Niigata is literally mean new flats.
Oh.
So they had a little lake before, and the water kind of evaporated, or the water supply got stopped, so that they have very large flat field.
Huh.
Fantastic for rice making.
Yeah. No kidding.
So
Cool.
so so we went to visit the Tsurumaki-san or the Munetoshi-san's workshop, and we could tell that they were one of the bigger production people, because they had at least 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 spring hammers So at one point, right now, it's like only like him.
Yeah, okay,
making-
that was my
doing
next
stuff.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the verge of the almost like mass production, right? They had at least 5 blacksmiths working in each.
So was that the previous generation, or were those apprentices that don't work for him anymore?
Well, he was
or-
younger.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was younger. He's pretty old as well, like in his. Like,
And so he's now
70s.
the only guy working in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
And does he have apprentices, or?
No.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So like he had 5 different spring hammers to work with.
Yeah. So he can just be like, it's Tuesday. I feel like using my Tuesday spring
No.
hammer."
He now uses the first shaping.
Yeah.
He moves that to the
Oh,
second.
does he have
shape-
different heads on each one?
Yeah. So
Nice.
he doesn't
Oh,
have
that's
to change
awesome.
it.
Yeah. He doesn't
He
have to
just
waste
walks-
time changing the heads.
Yeah, he just like walks around. And,
love it.
As
Gets
the-
his steps in.
As Mike noticed, like he has the like reading glass at every spring hammers.
Oh
puts
man,
it
I
on.
should get some glasses for work and some
Yeah.
glasses for my kitchen. And,
Yeah. So like, still he hadn't.
I like this
changed-
guy's style.
Yeah. Yet though, he's still like we get this finish, like Kasumi finish, very
Yeah, it's pretty like bare bones.
satin finish, right? It's like nice. Some people call it hairline finish. Nice and thin. It gets really nice and like nice taper. White carbon steel, simple. Number 2 white carbon steel, no stainless. But he has been trying a lot of different things lately. Like last garage sale, we did have this tsuchime, the hammered pattern knives from him, as well as he was actually talking about making he had made the honyaki before as well, so he was actually talking a little bit about that too.
So he's still experimenting and
Yeah,
messing around
exactly,
with new
right?
stuff. Cool.
Yeah, and he loves he loves talking, he loves teaching people.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got really nice personality.
It's like, yeah.
And the great thing about the him, like sickle maker, you know what the sickle is really. So in the Sanjo area, there are mainly 2. Well, in that Sanjo area, it's very famous for blacksmithing. Mm-hmm. In that subcategory of blacksmithing, there is one's like sickles or kitchen knives, and let's say those, and the other ones like axes, hatchets.
Okay, so 2 different kinds of like blacksmiths.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also there's another one's called the more like carpentries, like
Right.
plane blade.
Yeah, because those different kinds of blades require different equipment and are
Yeah.
different. Like axes are way thicker than kitchen knives and sickles.
So
Yeah.
what the sickles and kitchen knives have in common is that the thickness. They are thinner generally, right? Where the so like they call it usumono or the thinner blades, where the hatchets and other stuffs are considered to be so-called atsumono, the little thicker blade. Hatchets, axe, those kind of stuff. So
And funny you say that because I do notice like, so at the very edge, these are very thin. Like they taper down really beautifully to a really nice thin edge that glides nicely, but the rest of the knife is quite, like the spine's pretty thick. And like the knife is hefty. As far as Japanese knives go, especially the wa handles, the Japanese style handles, it's heavy. It's really heavy.
but it's got really nice taper though, hey? Like
Oh yeah,
here.
from the heel down to the tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the tip is going to cut. It's going
Yeah,
to have more
nice and
glide, and the
smooth.
heel's going to be more robust,
Yeah.
which we say all the time is a design we really love. But is that? So I'm surprised that you say they're thinner blades, but this is thicker than like a lot of average Japanese kitchen knives.
Right. I guess that's more of the style, the Sanjo style
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
of kitchen knives. They like to do forging shape into kitchen knives, like tapers forged
Right.
in and everything.
Yeah, kind of like
It's
how
grind
Musashi-san
down.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. Cool. Yeah. No, it's really neat. I feel like it would be great for food separation because it does like have a
Does
bit
a
of
little bit, yeah.
bit of this action going on. So it's going to glide into stuff really nicely. But as a cucumber gets up on there, or carrot coin or
Right.
something, it's going to like peel away from the blade.
And
a little
also,
more
it's
easily.
this finish is a little bit more rougher, so it
Yeah.
doesn't stick. The food doesn't stick as much to the blade either.
Cool. We got this really nice Santoku, which is a little on the lighter side. That Gyuto is pretty hefty. But Santoku is a nice, pretty traditional shape. Little bit of a flat edge. Yeah, nice height. A little petty knife, which would be a really good size to use in your hand. I use about a 135 millimeter petty every single day. With that, some days it's the only knife I use.
I'd be using like small petties in my kitchen too.
Right?
That's
Once you
really-
start, it's hard to stop.
That's really even.
You're like, oh, I get what my grandma only uses a knife that's this big, because it's like, sometimes I'm just too lazy to like
Oh my god!
pull out a
I was
Gyuto.
cutting the cabbage in half with the 130 petty.
Yeah, you
Like,
catch
I
yourself
shouldn't be-
sometimes.
yeah,
You're
I
like, all
shouldn't
right.
be using it, but-
Smarten up, Nathan. Grab the 10-inch chef's
Right,
knife that you own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, he also makes that, you know,
Yeah.
240 Gyuto. Nice big hefty boy. If you like, you know, if you like something that's just like confident and you can just get everything done with it.
Yeah.
Spoon Monkey wants to know if anybody makes a Hanyaki petty.
It's
It's
not.
the only Hanyaki knife I could afford.
You know what? The I've seen them. I don't know if there's much.
It's hard to say because like if you're gonna drop multiple thousands of dollars on a knife, are you just gonna go
Right.
big or go home, or are you gonna be like, well, I can afford, you know, I have $1,200 burning a hole in my pocket, but not 2,500.
Yeah. I mean, it's not impossible. I don't think
Yeah.
to make the. But it may be a little bit hard because the smaller the blade is,
Yeah.
the skinnier the blade is, the even how much like you put thick clay, you put that on
Yeah.
the spine for the differential heat treatment, it will definitely gonna harden the spine as well, right?
Yeah.
On the thickness too, right? Because the Yanagiba is
Yeah,
skinnier.
because heat's going to transfer
Yeah,
up
exactly.
here more easily, whereas
Exactly.
with like Gyuto, it's easier to keep this part of the knife cold, this part of the knife hot,
Exactly. And like,
or vice versa.
but if you
yeah.
look at the Yanagiba, it is skinnier, but it's thicker, right? And the bevel
Yeah.
is a little bit ground down, so that also makes it a little bit easier.
More
for
material to
honyaki-
absorb that heat.
Honyaki to like say edge part to heat up faster than that spine part. So maybe it's hard. Maybe I guess I've never seen the honyaki petties, but
I wonder, so this is completely off topic, but when Kevin and I went to Sweden about 9 years ago, and we went to the Wetterling's axe factory when it was open, and they had, because axes are usually differentially hardened, but it's a huge blade, so it's way easier to heat up one part of the blade.
yeah.
But, so I was wondering if it would be, and they have a system that you use macro waves. So it's like, it's radiation
Yep.
that they just like blast energy at a certain part of the axe. So I wonder if you could do that. Like you put clay on, but then you could also just like shoot energy just at the edge of your petty knife.
Maybe I know that the way that's quenched, it's called in Japanese koshu hayakire, but there's terminology like that too. But maybe I think the beauty of doing that, because like you could do that kind of like Owen, we did we did a video on Owen's the experience about him
Yeah.
making knives.
Yeah, that was really
and
cool.
how he's done his heat treatment was to set I think one of those blades like this, and there's gas fire just basically hits
Right.
along the
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Any other
But-
questions?
Just a quick kind of off-topic one.
Yeah.
Doodle was wondering if we could get more natural stones because he heard a rumor from Francis that you picked some up and was wondering if they were for sale.
They are not here yet, but good catch because yes we we did manage to get some of the very rare pieces of natural stones from for those of you who may know about this the mine called Kato Kozan. They have the maruka, the ka. Katakana character ka with the circle,
Yeah.
maruka. It is like the sign of this from particular mountain or the person, the Kato-san who used the other Kato-san who used to own the mountain.
Right.
And anything.
How many Kato-sans are there?
There are a lot.
Oh no, that's Kamo. I'm thinking.
Kamo. But Kato,
Yeah,
you know.
there's a couple
But
Kamo.
the what you call it, so the old ones and one of those natural stone I guess, wholesaler or the seller in Kyoto just went out of business. So the one of the who mainly dealt with the Maruka or Kato Kozan stones, and the natural stone guy, I guess, who we deal with, he got some shares, I guess, right?
Oh,
when they went out of business, like they were like
stuff got divvied up.
Yeah, so I get to kind of exposed to those stones. So I was being asked, like, would you like some? Like, yes, please.
Yes. The answer is always yes.
So so it's on its way right now on the pallet. It's 'cause heavy stuff.
That's got to be one of the most asked questions from our audience is when are you getting natural stones? And you guys manifested it. You did it. Somebody's been reading The Secret.
Yeah. So it is coming.
Probably blank.
We have some kind of whatchamacallit, the plan of launching those natural stones because one of the natural stones that we're getting is going to cost quite a bit. Than any other natural stones we've ever had before.
It's like more than $500.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's more on that you say triple digit? Triple? No.
Quadruple?
Quadruple digit? It's like
It's a nice rock.
I think. But
Somebody put that thing on a ring.
What we are thinking is that we do the things like what the Japanese natural stone guys do.
Yeah.
Just use that little bit of we try them on some blades and see how muddy and those kind of stuff, because that will tell people exactly how they work, right? Instead of
Yeah.
So that's the plan. So haven't decided, but they are coming. So stay tuned, and that's maybe something that we can talk about in Nerdy Hour. Maybe.
Totally.
Yeah.
I just had a weird thought because my brain's very like tangenty today. If any of our like natural stone loving audience members are listening right now, and you're engaged to be married sometime soon, for your ring, because I got a ring with like an onyx in it, which I think is cool. But you should do that, but you should get like a little piece of a natural stone and get it polished up all shiny. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be sick.
Like I'd do that. That'd be like, some of them have really cool patterns and
Knife
striations.
and something.
Yeah. Dude,
Tuna fun.
I just think that'd be so cool. All right.
Well, natural stones are like pretty soft though, so you have to be careful.
Well,
Totally.
epoxy 'em, I guess.
Oh, okay, then you can't use them as no. Just kidding.
Well, let's drop it on 'em.
If you've tuned in the past hour since we started, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. This is Naoto.
Oh yeah.
I'm Nathan.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah. I had a really nice vacation. I did a lot of gardening, spent a lot of time with my daughter, and did other stuff, I guess. I don't remember.
So.
But yeah, today we're talking about Small Makers Month, which is a time of the year where we deal with, there's a lot of blacksmiths and knife makers that we would love to carry their work full time, but they don't make enough knives, or they're new and they're just getting their feet. And so it's a time for us to work with them, bring in their inventory, bring in their products, and show them off and tell their story and give them the respect and reverence they deserve, without us having to commit to like carrying them full time.
And yeah, something that like we mentioned earlier, but we do have the twice a year garage sale, which we do have those knives, but oftentimes it's garage sale times is overwhelming.
Yeah.
We have so many different knives that we want to talk about and feature.
Yeah.
So like
these guys get overshadowed by the Hinora River Jumps and the custom Nigaras.
So basically, what we want to do is just to take. This is the month that we, take a time and talk about these blacksmiths and knife makers, and as you said, it's giving them a respect that they deserve.
Yeah. So we'll have little snippets on our Instagram account. We'll have blogs up on our website every week. We got a video coming out in a couple weeks about Hinora-san, Hinora Jr. And today, obviously, we're telling the stories of each of these folks and making sure they get their due diligence. I'm going to go over the news real quick again, just in case you missed it earlier. Our man Chris Lord in Ottawa is participating in Operation Ride Home. He's going on a charity motorcycle ride, fundraising ride tomorrow on his brand new bike, and it's to support Operation Come Home in Ottawa. They take that money and they directly use it to help homeless youth get off the street and prevent them from becoming homeless adults. So they find them somewhere to live, and they help them find employment, and they help them cover their bills until they can, take care of themselves, eat, do basic human things. And so there's a link in this video description, and if you went and kicked in however much you can, you know, $20 would be awesome, but whatever you feel like or can give would make a huge difference in the lives of people. So if you can, please do. And if you can't, no sweat. In Kelowna, we're doing a Kelowna pop-up in just over a week at the Codfathers, I love that name, Codfathers Seafood Market, 2355 Gordon Drive in Kelowna. We had a store there for years, and we got a lot of folks there who have Japanese knives that probably need a tune-up. So they're going to be sharpening knives there. From August 10th to 12th, the pop-up will be open. You can go, buy stuff, talk to the team. If you want to get your knife sharpened while they're there, you're going to want to drop them off as early as possible, definitely on the 10th or the 11th. If they can't get them done while they're in Kelowna, they will take them back to Vancouver, sharpen them, and then mail them back to you. But that'll be open 11 to 5 every day. Our Toronto store is open. Hooray.
Yeah, finally. So our Toronto store is on the Bloor, 517 Bloor Street. It's in the Annex, like really nice neighborhood of Annex. You know, if you go to a little bit of west, there's a Koreatown. To the east, there's like the fancy part of Bloor.
Nice.
It's a really nice, walkable neighborhood, and you know, right behind our store, the parking lot. I think I heard they have the market on the Saturdays or something.
We'll go on a Saturday then.
So yeah. It's great, great place to go and visit. We open, you know, same hours. Oh no, not same hours actually.
No.
We actually open 11 to 7.
Right.
On that store.
Because that's when stores are open in Toronto.
Yeah. And yeah, full time, and we have full selection of stuff. It's brand new. It's the best store yet. So
knife sharpening services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you guys there, right? It's a beautiful store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our buddy Musashi-san, Musashi Yamamoto, is coming to Calgary and Toronto at the end of September, beginning of October. So stay tuned. Make sure you're on our mailing list. You can sign up at knifewear.com or follow us on Instagram, and those are the places that we tend to announce those things. So keep an eye open for that. And our man Takayuki Shibata-san has been some unexpected circumstances, so we are unsure if he will still be coming next week. But we are going to update people as soon as possible, like hopefully tomorrow or over this weekend.
Yeah.
If he will be here, we've got a bunch of tanks and Barracuda teeth for our in-store customers. And if not, maybe stay tuned. Maybe some of you non-Calgary and Vancouver customers can have a shot at one, which I'm sure there are a lot of people that would like. I know there's like, when we did have a waiting list, it was 500 people long. So maybe we can help some of those folks get a new knife. And then, yeah, the other thing is, obviously, we haven't live streamed for a couple months, and so we're back. We're back at it. I'm back. Everybody's off summer vacation, I think. So we're going to do a Naoto's Nerdy Power Hour soon, because that's everybody's favorite show, talk about some sharpening knowledge. But if you have specific things that you want to see from us, live streams or other videos, let us know. Pop it in chat right now, or email tv@knifewear.com with your ideas, and we'll make it happen. Yeah. Now, do you have anything that you're planning to do for the Nerdy Power Hour? Like any sharpening techniques you've been really jamming on lately?
No, we've been kind of trying different techniques, but there are, as you said, as I said, the natural stones are a pretty nice topic to talk about. I think it's
cool if we could do a whole episode.
And also I am experimenting the one set of stones that's pretty new to us. So if you can talk about that would be actually pretty cool as well. No, I haven't seen the stones in North America yet. I don't know if it's around yet. So I'm trying them out and see how they react, how they work. So
we should do, like, when we get the stones, we should do a live stream to launch them. And then we can kind of like talk everybody through each one, so actually what they do before you buy them, and then we can crack a couple out and mess around with them afterwards too. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's all the news I have. Should we talk about our last couple of makers here?
Yeah.
Do we want to show off a tank and a Barracuda?
Sure.
Why not?
So
Spoon Monkey wants to see Springhammer 3.
Springhammer 3, it's almost been 10 years since Springhammer 1, so maybe we're due
a lot of things changed too, right? So it'd be really great.
Wow, look at this thing. It takes up like half the screen.
What I really liked? Often imitated but never duplicated. This tank has been, I guess, imitated in terms of the shape by so many I don't blame blacksmith.
No.
It's more like people like, hey, can you make the knife like that tank,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Mom, I want Tinker Tank. We have Tinker Tank at home.
Yeah, but the Tinker series, especially tank, is not just the shape, a 2D shape that matters.
Right.
What that means is that like there are a lot of knives looks like this.
Yeah. Same
Same,
silhouette.
Silhouette. Yes, but what those people don't get is how this actually being forged.
Well, tell us.
Yes. So that's what the Ikeda-san's been trying. It's a Shibata-san's project, right? Making this called the Tinker knives here, and the idea behind is he tried to make it's a very Japanese idea of manliness, outdoor.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a little,
Did you see one of those Serbian cleaver commercials on Instagram?
Probably, right?
Try to make a good one.
Yeah. But the forging idea is this though. Shibata-san asked the Ikeda-san to forge this into the shape as much as possible by forging it, and
as opposed to grinding it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what you can see is that not only now many knife makers do this. See here, thickness. Here,
Yeah.
It tapers
Yeah.
thick to pretty nice and thin.
Yeah.
Not only from here.
Mm-hmm.
This
Substantial
here
taper.
has the forged taper into this thicker and this. This is not by the grind; it is by the forging.
Okay.
Right. So it's like a 3D printed, thickness difference on each spot.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's never duplicated because I don't think the people who's making this shape knives have that idea of doing this as much as the
No, it's
Shibata-san
all pretty much that.
Exactly, right?
Most kitchen knives where it's 2 parallel sides and then it tapers down.
And he did it so aggressive too. This
Yeah.
taper is really
Yeah, I
aggressive.
bet if you looked at the picture of this knife and an imitation online, you would be like, oh yeah, it's just pretty much the same thing.
Yep.
But if you held them in your hand or you cut something with them, they would be. And I've handled several knives that are in that family, that large Nakiri, kind of tanky family. And when I finally did cut with a Tinker Tank, I was like, oh no, this is a totally different category of knife.
Yeah. So the Ikeda-san has been actually applying this technique to a lot of his regular old lines, the recent Kumos.
So
Recent
that's,
Kumos are crazy.
oh cool. Now I want a Kumo. God damn you, Nato.
And the regular lines like Aogami or Aogami Super lines are also forged very similarly as well. So I love how he took it and being able to incorporate into his knife making. It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's
And then Shibata-san does an incredible sharpening job
absolutely,
and puts a beautiful handle on it and engraves the blade with the
and
date.
also I love how it's polished. And it's just that details, right?
Yeah, the smooth texture when your fingers are contacting the knife is so important. I didn't own a knife like that until I got my Hado Sakai Boka, and I was just like, oh my god, why doesn't every knife maker polish things up like this?
So this is Tinker Tank. This one here is the Barracuda teeth.
Yeah, the names are just so great. Barracuda teeth.
This one here is more like a Honesuki, right?
Yeah.
Merlin would like to know, how is this type of tank knife used?
How? It's really multi-purpose knife. It is giant, but it's
anything you'd use a medium to small chef, well, maybe not small. Anything you'd use a medium chef's knife or nikiri for.
Yeah.
Cutting vegetables, mincing up meat. Those are the jobs. I wouldn't carve a roast with it.
No, it's too short.
But I would cut pretty much every vegetable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mincing the garlic with it.
If you're a certain kind of person, this weighty of a knife is really nice for prep. If you find heavy knives unpleasant, you'll hate it. But
exactly.
if you enjoy a
It's-
heftier knife, because you can just pick it up and it just falls on its own. So all the work you have to do is just like lifting it.
Yeah,
And then
it's not for everyone, but definitely
No.
like it's for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People who also like Chinese cleavers, but maybe find them a bit big. Like I like the idea of a Chinese cleaver, but they feel unwieldy to me. So my Moritaka Mega Nikiri and this are
Right.
like the perfect Goldilocks for me. Big hands.
Even small hands can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right. Yeah, if you want one of those knives, stay tuned.
Okay, should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hinokuni.
Hinokuni Sakai-san.
Okay.
We
me
did talk talk about him last year, I think.
Yeah,
as
last
well.
Small Makers Month, but
Yeah.
he's young, so he's changing so much every year.
He did actually. So Hinokuni Yukihiro Sakai-san is his name, and Hinokuni is his branding.
Okay.
Hinokuni means a country or the state of fire or the
Cool.
flame. Hinokuni is the old name for the Kumamoto. It's the very, very old name. It's been used to describe because of the volcano called Mount Aso.
Okay.
The,
Cool.
and also this believed to be the place where the people, like the indigenous people, fought against the central government in Japan back in 2,000 years ago, like very
Oh,
long
wow,
time,
long time ago.
long time ago. So it's like
Wow.
now it's incorporated, like very long time ago.
Yeah,
But anyways, the Sakai-san, he is the young blacksmith. He learned
Yeah.
his skills.
Like actually young. Like usually when we say young blacksmith, we're like, yeah, he's like 35 or 45. But this
He's
guy's like 20.
in his 20s.
Yeah.
Learned the skills from the Nishida-san. The Nishida-san is also another blacksmith in that region. Who pride himself of making knives from forge welding. Like
Starting from scratch, basically. Yeah.
So every knife that the Nishida-san or even the Yukihiro-san, the Sakai-san makes, has been made with the forge welding technique. What that means is that we talk about the hard steel, softer steel kind of construction. Japanese knives are made with harder steel for the edge.
Yeah,
because
softer
it's
steel
hard
to protect.
Exactly. It's like everything has a bubble wrap.
Yeah.
But people buy the already bubble wrap the steel.
Yeah, totally.
Where their belief, from Nishida-san's belief is that many blacksmiths are able, have ability to do the forge welding.
Yeah.
They'd often opt out not to.
Yeah, it's not
because-
necessarily cost effective.
Exactly.
They might, when you buy something pre-made from a factory, it's pretty much always more consistent and yeah.
But their thought is that, you know what, being a blacksmith, if you don't do the forge
Yeah.
welding,
Yeah.
why would you, right?
If you don't
That's their
make your puff pastry yourself, then
Yeah, exactly.
what kind of baker are you?
Exactly.
Yeah,
like-
no, I get
so
it.
something like we respect that kind of.
Yeah.
So the way in which that he makes, there is a clip that probably Sky can play. It is playing. Okay, so I'm not showing the knife here. So he forge welds the knife, and if you look, I will show this blade in front of camera later on. Though you see the grinding line?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see, just on a bevel, the grinding line is not, for example, compared to the,
Real close there. Yeah.
it's not, say, perfectly perpendicular to the edge.
So like the line up here where the Kuroji stops,
No, this.
or where the coarse steel is exposed.
No, you see, you can see them here, this
Oh yeah.
sort of line.
Oh, I see the grinding marks. Yeah.
Grinding marks.
Yeah.
Where I don't know if the camera catches it.
It does.
Okay, so what that mean? What the perpendicular means?
Yeah. So here it's like diagonal. They go kind of
Yeah.
like.
So his
that.
grinding line goes diagonal,
Yeah.
where this tang goes like perfectly perpendicular.
To the edge, yeah.
to the edge,
Yeah,
right?
okay,
So
gotcha.
what that indicates, though, is that he finishes the bevel somehow this motion.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of knife makers, blacksmiths use the grinding wheel that
Yeah,
goes
the big
spins
wheels.
this way and puts the edge this way so that it leaves the mark perpendicular to
Yeah,
the
totally.
where having this line is similar to Mazaki,
Okay.
right?
Who finishes by hand?
Yes.
So do you think he's doing his finishing by hand then? Maybe?
For at least some portion, yes.
Cool. Awesome.
So it goes like this way. So it's really to finish it on the.
Can we also mention the fact that this beautifully handmade knife that has been forge welded in-house by the blacksmith, made from really high quality carbon steel, it's only 216 Canadian dollars? Like, what the fuck? That's cheap.
And this too.
It's not cheap, it's inexpensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's actually seen his knives like for a couple years now. Its quality is gonna improve quite a bit.
Yeah, like even compared to last year,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
Yes.
like don't get me wrong, if you bought one of his knives last year, like you still got a banging
yeah.
knife and a great deal. But
Yeah.
but like I was saying before, it's like it's cool to get something early in the career because it just changes so much. And even in the span of 1 year, you can tell he's learned so much and changed his style.
Yeah.
A lot. These
Yeah.
are phenomenal. Like I would buy this
It's good.
myself. I'd buy it as a gift. Like it's a spectacular knife.
I would buy this myself because it's
Now it is, like I've been saying about a few of these today, it is on the heftier side. Like there is more metal up here, and it does taper down to kind
Little
of a
bit,
thin edge, but
little
not
bit.
that thin.
No.
Like it's pretty. This is a bit of a chunky knife. Like, is that a regional style? Is that his style?
I think it's regional style. Like it's a little thicker where it goes in a handle
Yeah,
and
yeah.
pretty consistent from there. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really nicely done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just pretty and elegant, and he hasn't put a plastic collar on the handle, which like I'm not a fan of. Like,
we changed it.
I thought so. Okay.
yeah.
It's so much
They
better with a
changed
one
it,
handle.
yeah,
It's
so,
so, like
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just like boom up here. Not to
Yeah.
mention his skills also improved
Yeah,
that much.
it's really nice.
Yeah, no, these are beautiful blades.
It is
$200
white carbon #1 steel.
Really?
So it is
$200 and
What?
yeah, white #1. It is a little bit. Could be tiny bit
Jeez.
chippier, I guess. Like it can chip a bit easier.
Chippier. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sharpens real nice.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
it will,
Yeah. Cool.
So, yes. So that's the Sakai-san. I'm really interested in actually going to his workshop and meet him in person.
Cool. Oh yeah, because you haven't met him in person,
I
yet, have
have.
you?
Yeah, I haven't.
I think that'll be really awesome because
So, yeah.
he's got, you know, a 40 to 60 year career ahead of him.
Yeah. What I would like to do is just gonna land in the island Kyushu because he's in Kumamoto, and Nishida-san is. We've had Nishida-san's his I guess teacher. It's nice once or twice before as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to kind of go back and get his knives as well. But I want to actually fly into Kyushu, island Kyushu, and meet those blacksmiths that we deal with.
Yeah.
Including the Miyazaki-san.
Yeah, that'd be really
Yeah.
cool. Do you know if you're going to Japan like this October?
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll see. Cool. Any questions that we need to catch up on?
No, we're just talking about Denka Hanasuki and chicken and
Denka Hanasuki, is that a thing?
It was a thing.
Okay, I
I don't
thought
know if
so.
he had.
It was like kind of a not single bevel, but a single bevel, but not.
We decided to get the double bevel.
Oh, we did. Okay,
Yeah,
I think that's the way to go. Yeah.
yeah.
Personally.
But for those of you who loves the single bevel Honasukis, single bevel-ish Honasukis, we're getting. So like we have the Sakai Takayuki SK5,
Yeah.
SK4.
It's a phenomenal
Nihongo.
line.
Yeah, that's Honasukis, and they're sharpened like 70-30,
Yeah. Yeah.
right-handed.
Yeah.
We're getting left-handed version of this.
Whoa, that's awesome.
So for those lefties, stay tuned. We'll have actually
Yeah.
quite a good, nice selection of left-handed knives and left-handed tools soon.
Yeah,
So we may
not
actually
in
do
time
the
for
video.
Left-Handers Day, which is like in a week.
Apparently.
I was hoping
gonna-
we'd have it in time for that, but none of us knew when that was until earlier today.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
we'll do some sort of like not a promotion, but
Yeah.
feature.
Oh, left-handed party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Featured week. We just
Yeah.
call it Knife for a Left-Handed Week or something.
Yeah. We just flip the logo around.
Yeah, exactly, right? But yeah, we managed to get the left-handed kitchen shears.
Yeah. You know what we should do is we should get our man Chris Lorton here, who's
Yeah.
left-handed,
Yeah.
and we should have to do a bunch of tasks with like left-handed knives and
Yeah.
like scissors and stuff,
Yeah.
and he'll just decimate all of us, and he'll feel, because left-handed people get it,
Yeah, absolutely.
they get some shit, and
Yep.
give him a bit of vengeance. He can just embarrass us all us righties.
Yeah.
Okay, well, keep the questions coming if you got them. We got another half hour or so today. But the last one, I'm kind of excited we left this one for last because there's some of my favorites that we have in right now as far as the small makers go. And we haven't had them since like late last year.
Yeah.
Is the Suzuki knives. Suzuki Uchi hamono, right?
Yep.
So these guys caused quite a stir when they first launched like a year or two ago because they have a really short bevel. Kind of looks like a Takeda knife. If you just at a glance, you're like, is that a Takeda Santoku? Nope. Oh, it's got that really steep or shallow bevel on that side, and the back side has like just a micro bevel, right?
So that the grind part is actually totally flat. So
Okay.
it's not this is not a bevel.
Yeah.
This is not like
That
where it transitions from the.
Whoop. There we go. See if you can see
down
that. So on this side where my hand is, there's a bevel that's quite pronounced, and nothing on the other side. It's just flat.
Yeah. So this is very interesting as well. The Suzuki-san, another Tsukasa-san actually. Suzuki Tsukasa-san.
Oh.
Yeah, now it's the second, and there's another Tsukasa-san in Tosa, so the third. Anyway, Suzuki-san, he is also a sickle maker, like Munetoshi.
Okay.
But-
right. I remember this.
Yeah, but the way unlike Munetoshi-san, who makes kitchen knives like a kitchen knife and sickle like sickle,
Yeah. He
Suzuki-san
makes sickles like kitchen knives.
well,
Other way around.
he makes kitchen knives like a sickle.
Yeah.
So the way he makes sickle is that especially the nakiri, he leaves this part here. He calls it the ear
Yeah.
of the knife, like ear.
Yeah.
Ear of the knife, and so that it's nice and solid. It doesn't bend as
Yeah. It's
easy.
like a thick ridge of metal that runs
exactly
along the spine.
right here.
Yeah.
Then the forge into look how thin
Oh,
this
yeah,
part
this-
is.
Crazy. Yeah. Okay, so like thick spine, everything else super, super thin. You can see that.
And single bevel,
Bananas. And single bevel.
because
With like a really steep, like crazy bevel on there.
because it's basically how the sickles were made. They're a single bevel.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So when you actually cut it this way, it just separates it very nicely.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's very unique way of making it, and how this cuts. Unfortunately, this is right-handed knives.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for those who are lefties, but this big bevel on the one side will make a food separation like a breeze.
Yeah. Yeah, because as the edge comes in, the food just goes meow,
Yeah,
like that. off to the
exactly.
side.
It's almost like a
And it goes meow. That's the sound it makes.
Yeah.
Every time you cut, just meow,
Yeah.
meow, meow.
it's almost like a mandolin blades, right?
Right, how it just peels off and
Yeah.
like rarely does stuff end up stuck on the bottom of your
Exactly.
mandolin. It just goes like it shoots down.
Exactly. So that's kind of how it's made.
Okay.
So
Cool.
it's super cool. It does require a little bit of getting used to, especially like this big single bevels. When you try to cut the thicker piece, like 1 or 2 inches thick Say even Carousel, like I do use them. Use Daikon for the good example, but it will actually pulls to the to the
Right,
left.
it's going to steer from that unequal pressure.
It steers to this bevel. So like, try to cut it this way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like the first time you use an Isuba, you're just like, what?
Yeah. But when you're trying to cut the very thin pieces like julienning or a very thin piece of daikon, it will just because it peels it like this way, it does a very, very good job.
Do you put, I've tried this with an Isuba before, where you kind of put your thumb on the back of it there, like that, and then kind of use that to steer it straight a little bit. Do you find that works?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so they've got a couple smaller knives. It's got this little, like, kind of petty. I think it's technically called a ko santoku. It's like a large petty kind
Does it say
of.
petty? Oh, it does say petty.
It does say
on
petty.
here,
Okay.
Maybe
Maybe it used to be
Santoku.
ko santoku. I don't know.
Okay.
And then they have this like
Let's
kind of
see.
konakiri little guy.
Isn't this the best knife for something?
It is. So we have. How'd you know that? So we have a video coming out next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
We shot it a year ago with our friend Isaac from Say Cheese. He owns a cheese store in Calgary, and we grabbed some Japanese knives for him to try out on cheese, like nice cheese, fancy cheese. And none of the knives that we thought would be good for cheese were good for cheese, but we threw this one in the mix just for like the hell of it. We're just like, we'll use this silly thing because we don't know what it does. And it turns out this is the best Japanese knife for cheese. So I spoiled the video. Now you don't have to watch our video on Monday.
Oh, sorry.
Our metrics will be terrible. But yeah, so it's a good video. It's pretty aimless, and we just mostly make dumb jokes and talk about cheese for 20 minutes. But there's a lot learned along the way, and he does some tests, and turns out this is the best knife for cheese.
Since we got this back, sorry.
Yeah.
I spoiled it.
Oh, I'm excited because about every week for the past year, I've been popping my head into Naoto's office and say, "Hey, Naoto, we're getting those Suzuki Konakiris in."
I'm doing it while you were gone.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, I came back and it's like, "Hey, Nathan, we got these knives." We can finally put that video out that we made a year ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I even
Poor
told
Isaac having to put up with us.
I even told him directly like a couple months ago. Probably went to grab cheese from them. I'm like, yeah, the video is not up yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, the knife.
He stopped asking me.
It just gave up.
Yeah. I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting. Again, he has been this sickle maker for the longest time, and he is willing and he is very interested learning about kitchen knives now.
Cool.
Like, this is very
awesome.
Traditional way. He's from Yamagata Prefecture, which is the one prefecture north of the Niigata.
Okay. Cool.
Niigata's here.
Yeah.
Yamagata's there. Very famous for the cherries.
Cherries. Oh.
Super sweet cherries. Like one box flat costs about 100 to 200. It's expensive.
Oh, yeah. It's too rich for my blood, but that's cool.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
But Yamagata, he's really well. I did have one sample from him, the Tuten Gyuto, and I kind of did a modification. But he's very willing to learn
That's
how
really cool. Yeah.
kitchen knives should work because again how it cuts and how it forged is very traditionally derived from the sickles, right?
Sure.
So he was like,
I love when these folks want feedback. I want to
he isn't that like the youngest blacksmith. He's in I think in maybe mid to late 40s.
Okay.
But he's still relatively young.
Yeah.
The video? The guy in the video?
Did he look younger or did he look older?
No.
Okay, around that. Okay.
Sure, he's got a great skincare routine.
We're
cool.
But we've been constantly seeking for the new makers.
Cool. Yeah.
Try out, and some of them may not work. Some of them works.
Yeah.
And as Small Maker Month is such a great opportunity that we actually get to talk about the them and taking a little bit more time to talk about them, right?
And we couldn't do it without viewers like you. No, seriously though, like we bring this stuff in because folks like the people that are watching right now are into this kind of thing as much as we are. Some of them even more so, and so it's cool to be able to share this because we get to hear these kind of stories every day. Like you tell us, hey, check this cool thing out, or I discovered this new person, but we always want to bring in their stuff, but sometimes we're like, okay, well, he only has 10 knives for us. And it's like, okay, so we send 2 to each store and they kind of like try to find a spot for them. Whereas now we could be like, okay, no, we can spread the love. We can have a few different things to kind of have a proper selection for people. And we can write a blog and do a little video about the person or whatever. It's really cool.
Even like the Isamitsu, I like. So Isamitsu blog is actually very, I find it's very good because I did send out the.
You wrote it, I would hope so.
No, the last section is about.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Direct translation of the interview, basically.
Yeah.
You know what they like to do and how they started doing it, and I love that the section where Yuki-san's wife she started and joined in a more active role in knife making, or still not like forging, but the more active role into the knife making. And one of the things that I really liked was what's the hardest thing about being a blacksmith, or being this, and she was like not being a wife of the employee of someone, because now they're all by themselves, right?
Yeah. You don't get paid.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
And it's.
Yeah. I don't think any of us would want to work with our spouses as much as we love them very much.
We actually had somebody in the chat who got the Isamitsu Santoku that arrived yesterday.
Nice. Oh,
we have very
awesome.
limited quantity of Isamitsu.
Yeah,
so,
I'm surprised we still have any left.
Unfortunately, it didn't go out to the stores because we had so little quantities.
If you do want to see one in person, and let us know, and if there's if you want to get a couple in your city, I'm sure we could send a couple out next week, providing there's some left.
Yeah.
Ready for some Q&A?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Well, it's 3:41, and on my things here it says 3:40 Q&A.
Oh,
so
there you
we
go.
better get to it.
All right. Merlin is asking, are there still Shibata Kotetsu Type 3 knives made?
The Type 3, that's Type 2. Battleship is Type 2. Type 3 is the one with the AS, isn't it? No.
I don't know, dude. I was on vacation.
Battle 3. No, Type 3 is Type 3. There's Battleship.
That's AS, yeah.
So
Type 3 is AS.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, they are the Shibata-san's production is Kotetsu production is not as fast or as many as we always hope. There's like like beginning of the year, or even like around this time of the year, we make this order and send to Shiba, hey, this is how many we want for next year. And he takes it and fulfills it like one at a time.
Just puts the order through the shredder and then just takes one piece. Oh yes, one Santoku. All right, I'll make that.
So not as fast as we are hoping for, but
they're out there.
Eventually, hopefully, we'll have a little bit more.
Go on the product page, but notify me when available.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the email when your turn comes. And then when you get the email, grab it because they go quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some stuff is easy for us to get, but some stuff is like this, where it's like, we get it once or twice a year, and that's kind of it. Yeah.
Cool. Brock Stone says, I'm currently in Osaka, heading south today and passing through Sakai.
Oh,
I
nice.
just tuned in. What shops should I check out?
Damn.
So in Sakai, it's very hard to go to the actual stores because in Sakai there are a lot of small workshops, and even say, for example, one of our favorite blacksmiths, Yoshikazu Tanaka-san's workshop is right next to his house in the residential
Wow.
area, and they are not really open to.
They're not
the
giving out their home
regular
address?
walk-in. Yeah.
I'm gonna dox them on our YouTube channel.
Definitely one of the places to visit is the, I don't know which transportation that you're taking, but if you take this streetcar, or we call it Chinchin Densha, from the Tennoji down to the Sakai area, get off at around Myokokuji station, and around there is a Sakai, it's basically a small like museum of Sakai knives and kitchen knives.
Oh.
So you should go there and you should be able to buy something. And there actually usually have someone from that area, the craftsman, is working at the
Oh, nice.
at the museum.
Are there
Yeah.
any other just like cool shops, non-knife shops or restaurants that you would visit while you're there?
The Sakai has the Sakai is kind of weird. It's a big enough city. It has like 1 million people living in there, but it's mostly very industrial city. With the along the coast, it's all chemical factories and petroleum factories and
Okay.
whatever there.
Oh, sounds like Calgary.
Yeah. And there is again Jikko, Jikko. They have a store just along there as well that you can go to, and the food-wise, there are quite a few actually nice food places. One of the places that I remember was like little soft soba place, like soft, cooked a little bit longer than most people do in Japan. But it was like it's in a really weird restaurant. It's like hidden. I can't remember, but hidden place. It was kind of cool.
Just look down back alleys until you find it.
And there's a really popular midnight tempura place in Sakai.
Oh,
Midnight tempura place.
midnight tempura place.
And that place is so famous for I think they serve the tempura and the skewers,
Yeah.
and they throw those skewers on the ground. That's what they're famous for as well. Like,
That's
anyways, that's also
love
pretty cool place in Sakai, I think.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Owl Woodworks has tuned in.
Hey.
Hi,
Yeah.
and sick shirt, Nathan.
Thanks. I love these shirts. If you want to wear crazy shirts like me, check out Vapor 95. We're not sponsored yet, but
sponsor
please
us.
sponsor us. I want more shirts. But yeah, no, they make really cool shirts and other things.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tack is asking, will you guys be getting more different styles of Nikiri?
Different styles of Nakiri.
More Nikiris? Usually, always.
We have
Yeah.
quite a few Nakiri selection
Yeah.
right now. If he's talking about like different style as the
Let us know what you mean by
yeah,
different.
like this
It's
is
a good
quite
start.
different style.
Yeah.
It's got a little rounded edge here. Traditionally, the Nakiri are more like
a little more narrow.
this is very traditional style. Masakage Nakiris are a little bit taller. Some styles say Eastern style.
Yeah.
East style with Azumagata is the one that has the more belly to it, a little bit more rocker.
Like the
We
Fujimoto.
Used to, like
Yeah.
the back when we launched it.
Okay, yeah.
It's not anymore. But
okay.
used to be there's one that with the big rock to it.
Yeah. We've got the Tojiro multi-purpose Nakiri that's just like this long.
Yeah.
We've got Moritaka Mega Nakiri. It's probably not in stock right now, but it will restock
Yeah.
probably in the next couple months.
Yeah.
That's a cool. I really like that one. It's just a
That's-
bigger Nakiri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that one we got from, I think it might have been Nigara, that they did some sort of crazy copper rainbow Damascus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Millimeter
Yeah.
Nikiri.
Yeah,
That's
it went
cool.
to the Toronto store.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a funky one. All right. I've been chatting a little bit with a Luke Ramey here.
Mhm.
He's looking for a great knife for a somewhat beginner.
Mm.
I asked some follow-up questions, but haven't gotten anything yet. So if you needed one great knife for a somewhat beginner,
Like
Yeah, that
seriously,
one.
the Gihei blue carbon.
Yeah.
If you're like, since we have this, in front of us, right?
Yeah.
Gihei blue carbon stainless clad, 221. This is great beginner knife. It's easy to take care of. It takes good edge, holds it really nicely. It feels nice, handmade.
Yeah.
You won't go wrong with this.
I buy if I'm just getting gifts for somebody who's like definitely like a beginner, then I just always get a Haruki Sentoku, usually the Haruki Kokudo Sentoku.
Yeah, Kokudo
Just
or
a
Mugi.
phenomenal, good-looking knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty easy, like super easy to take
Yeah.
care of. It really matters of the preference on European style handle
Yeah.
or the Japanese.
But
style
everybody will enjoy using a Sentoku. It's not too big or too small
Yeah,
for
yeah.
pretty much anyone.
handle. Exactly.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, and then Grant says he's excited for the cheese knife video.
Yeah. Our 12-month. What'd you say today? 12-month.
12-month cave age.
Yeah.
content
Cave age.
video.
Yeah, 12-month aged video, cheese video. Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
We got it out.
That's it. We're all caught up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you
All
so
right,
much,
thanks
everybody,
for
for tuning
tuning
in.
in.
Yeah, you can find these knives at knifewear.com or heading to your local store now. Yeah, they're really cool. They're really exciting. There's some great stories. Stay tuned for the YouTube channel and our blog on knifewear.com because we'll have more stories about these folks coming out throughout the month. If you are in Calgary or Vancouver and you're planning to visit when Shibata-san is in town, just stay tuned. Make sure you're on the mailing list and or follow us on Instagram because we will announce exactly what's going on probably this weekend, like Monday at the latest, I would say. So we'll get an update then real soon, and then yeah, stay tuned for the tanks and the Barracuda teeth. If you can, donate to the Operation Ride Home. Link is in the description of this video. Check us out in Kelowna if you're from Kelowna at the Farmers Market or the Codfather's Seafood Market pop-up next weekend, the 10th to the 12th. And yeah, have a great weekend.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
yeah,
Thanks.
send us your live stream ideas.
Yeah.
If you want to see more videos from us and you have an idea, send it to us.
Yeah.
tv@knifewear.com.
Yeah, and have a good long weekend for those beautiful having that.
Yeah, it's a stat for a lot of Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Enjoy.
Thank
See you
you.
folks
Thank you.
soon.
Bye.
Peace.